I saw the depth on full display tonight. The speed, the perimeter, players making plays for themselves and for others. I already knew this kid Stephon Castle was special, but this confirmed it. The San Antonio Spurs just beat LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers without Victor Wembanyama. Smooth operator, thanks to a devastating three-guard lineup and a bench that's emerged as one of the league's best. The Spurs are announcing their arrival. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. And while the stars shone, it was the depth and execution behind them that's fundamentally reshaping this team's identity. If there are still Spurs doubters out there, their ranks are thinning by the minute. Say what you want, but this team looks like a legitimate NBA contender right now. That's bold, I know, but hear me out. They've now beaten 3 of the top 4 seeds in the Western Conference and looked dominant doing it. That's not a fluke, it's a pattern. Walking into their matchup with the Lakers, the Spurs had a clear, brutal game plan from the opening tip. Push the pace, attack the rim, space the floor, and force Luka Dončić to beat you in isolation. The formula was executed to perfection. The Lakers simply couldn't keep up. San Antonio turned defense into instant offense, racking up 16 points off turnovers and unleashing a 27-point fast break assault. They shot 50% from the field and a blistering 45% from 3. The tone was set early by Keldon Johnson, who buried 3 first-quarter triples on his way to 13 of his 17 points. Johnson anchored a bench mob that utterly dominated. The Spurs reserves outscored the Lakers bench 48-31, with Dylan Harper, 13 points, and Julian Champagnie, 16 points, providing crucial sparks. Every time the Lakers found a sliver of momentum, it was solely because of Luka Dončić. He poured in 35 points and 8 assists, with many of those dimes finding Marcus Smart, who exploded for 26 points off the pine, hitting 8 threes. The Spurs dared Smart to beat them, and for a while, he did. San Antonio built an 18-point lead in the second, only to see the Lakers claw back behind Luka's foul-drawing artistry and a zone that briefly slowed the Spurs' fury. A thunderous LeBron dunk cut the lead to single digits just before halftime. But this is where the new Spurs responded. Steady veterans De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes answered with back-to-back scores, sending San Antonio into the breakup 70-58. The third quarter has been a house of horrors for this team all season. Not tonight. The Spurs opened the half on a 10-2 run, seizing a 20-point cushion. Stephon Castle was the catalyst, attacking relentlessly until foul trouble, courtesy of Dončić, sent him to the bench early. Yet, San Antonio held firm. They not only survived the Luka onslaught but won the third quarter, taking a commanding 104-87 lead into the fourth. The Lakers made one final push in the last 5 minutes, with Smart still firing, and Luka being Luka. And that's when the Spurs backcourt closed the show. Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox made every clutch play required. Castle's final line was a masterpiece. 30 points on 1, 0 of 1 for shooting, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Fox was the picture of poise, 20 points and just a single turnover, controlling the game's tempo with veteran savvy. It was a defining win for a young team. They executed Coach Mike Johnson's plan flawlessly, answered every Lakers counterpunch, and did it all without Wembanyama watching intently from the bench. Next stop, Las Vegas. A showdown with the 24-1 Oklahoma City Thunder for a spot in the NBA Cup Finals. Whether Wemby plays or not, this Spurs squad has proven it has the talent and toughness to stare down the defending champs. Let's put this run in perspective. To get here, the Spurs had to knock off 2 legitimate contenders, the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers, both on the road. They are now 8-5 away from home, one of only 10 teams in the NBA with a winning road record. In December, this is the closest thing to playoff basketball you'll get, and the Spurs are thriving with a 4-1 cup record. Against LA, the Lakers had no answer for the Spurs' transition tsunami or their three-point barrage. The guards were spectacular, amplified by savvy veterans. Keldon Johnson's early onslaught and Harrison Barnes' steadying presence were pivotal. What stood out most was San Antonio's collective urgency. They played with a hunger and determination the Lakers couldn't match. Every time LA threatened, the Spurs slammed the door. You can see this group maturing in real time. Wembanyama's absence has forced an identity shift. The Spurs have fully embraced their speed and athleticism. In the 12 games without him, they rank 11th in pace. Against the Lakers' older legs, they played at a breakneck tempo, combining it with a parade to the free throw line and a rain of threes. 5 different players hit multiple triples. The bench has become a weapon. They're a top 8 scoring unit, 39.3 PPG, a number that jumps to 43.5 without Wemby. Against LA, they won the bench battle by 15 points, with Johnson, Harper, and Champagnie all delivering. But the story is the backcourt. Stephon Castle authored a career night, imposing his will for 30 points, 10 boards, and 6 assists. De'Aaron Fox was the unflappable floor general. For once, the Spurs won the foul battle, their speed forcing the Lakers into constant, desperate reaches. Castle took 9 free throws and could have had more. His development is on a rocket ship. On this night, he was the best player on the floor. Coach Johnson praised Castle's ability to channel his energy into production, leading the team in paint points, rebounds, and assists. Meanwhile, the Lakers' defense was shredded for 104 points through 3 quarters and a season-high point total. When Castle wasn't scoring, San Antonio's shooters were left scandalously open. Johnson and Champagnie combined for 5 first-half threes because of blown assignments. To those who worried the Spurs had a logjam with too much guard talent, relax. It's not a problem. It's their superpower. The narrative was set this summer. Fox got his max extension. Then they landed the #2 pick, Dylan Harper, while already having the reigning Rookie of the Year in Stephon Castle. Questions about fit, minutes, and ego surfaced immediately. The trio's response? Total buy-in. They are invested in each other's success. This is the most potent guard trio in the league, and 2 are just scratching the surface of their potential. When San Antonio needs a takeover, any one of them can deliver. That versatility is priceless. Most teams pray for one such player. The Spurs have 3, and they're learning to orchestrate together in real time. Castle is already initiating the offense with Fox on the floor, not as a developmental experiment, but because he's that good. The pattern is emerging. Against New Orleans, it was Harper's turn late, dropping a career-high 22 and a clutch bucket. Against the Lakers, Fox's leadership and timely shot-making snuffed out every rally. For 48 minutes, defenses now get no respite. A downhill, paint-collapsing, playmaking guard is always on the floor. This is the vision, and GM Brian Wright deserves credit for ignoring the noise and drafting Harper. We saw the full blueprint come to life. Castle was unstoppable. Credit to Coach Johnson for trusting him through foul trouble, and to Castle for defending the masterful foul draw Luka all night. When he or Fox sat, Harper 13 points, 6 over 12 FG, maintained the pressure, playing with a veteran's poise beyond his years. Even when skeptics question their overlapping skills as downhill attackers, the Lakers' disorganized defense had no solution. And when things tightened, Fox's steadying, big shot ability, a trait the Spurs haven't had since DeMar DeRozan or Manu Ginobili, proved invaluable. The days of panicking with a late lead seem over. Wembanyama's injury forced a rediscovery. What does this team look like without its 7'5" cornerstone? The answer is thrilling, fast, relentless, and connected. They outran and outshot the Lakers, even forcing Luka to the bench in the 4th. Castle, Fox, and Harper took turns dismantling the defense. And now, they're 2 wins from a Vegas payday. The rebuild? It might be complete. The Spurs have found their blueprint. If they sustain this, Their transition from afterthought to apex predator will be stunningly fast. A month ago, they were a year or two away. Today, they're in the Cup semi-finals, playing like they own the stage. This isn't a hot streak. It's an identity revolution. The Spurs have a real rotation, a cohesive system, and a legitimate chance to contend sooner than anyone dared imagine. This changes everything. What do you think? Is this Spurs backcourt for real? Is their bench the league's most underrated? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives. And if you enjoyed this, check out one of the videos on your screen now.